Hey guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So guys, this Wun-Dar situation seems to be sort of escalating. A lot of people have reported finding Wun-Dar in the wild in the USA of all places. So yeah, I just wanted to take a bit of a deep dive and try and figure out exactly what's going on here, and maybe track down where this is coming from, possibly. So guys, if you enjoyed this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I post up to 2 episodes a week, and I hope you guys will enjoy. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you guys will always know when new episodes are posted. Alright guys, well, without further ado, let's dive right into this and try to figure out what the heck is going on with this Wun-Dar action figure from Mattel Universe Origins. So you might remember that I already did a whole video on the Wun-Dar leak, which was provided to us courtesy of King Deadpool 2008 Ali. Definitely head over to his channel, check out the video. It was an amazing look at the new Wun-Dar figure, and he was the first one to break onto the scene to showcase this brand new figure. But that led to questions of where did you get it, how did you get it, and even more questions, the fact that Alex Jimenez actually said, yes, that is my artwork, and yes, that is the figure. So that was almost pretty much proof positive that this was real, or was it? And not too far after, we also found out that another toy collector on the internet actually did find it in the wild. It was Playtime. Definitely check out his Instagram channel. And yeah, he also found a Wun-Dar in the wild. And this was absolutely crazy. How many more of these Wun-Dars are actually out there? Playtime really did showcase additional photos and more high-resolution looks at this figure, and huge shout out to him as well. We can see here the backing card is just absolutely stunning, and as Axel Jimenez said, this is his artwork. And again, what does this mean though? Like, what is the fallout from this? It's hard to say, because we're starting to see more and more of these show up at certain locations. But again, nobody's really talking about where they're picking it up or how they're picking it up, and it just leads to so many different questions. Who's distributing these? How are they being distributed? And are these actually real? Let's be candid here. We really don't know if these are the actual figures, even though Axel Jimenez has said, yes, that's my artwork, and he does believe that these are the actual figures themselves. It's still not confirmed by Mattel. These Wun-Dar, as we know, has been faked multiple times, and this just leads to the continued mythos of the actual Wun-Dar figure. At one point he was called Wonder Bread He-Man. There were so many rumors that he was a mail-away item that nobody could get, and it created this entire underground culture around this character. So now it seems as if that is literally returning to the forefront, where people are starting to say, yeah, I found him in the wild. I've got a Wun-Dar. But you know what? There's so many customs out there. We've seen so many different customizations from off-the-shelf parts. People buying the classic headed He-Man, repainting it, and using Zodak's armor to actually put this guy together. So it really, at the end of the day, is just not something that we can 100% absolute certainty say that this is Wun-Dar. Even with the confirmation that Axel Jimenez said, yes, that is from me. This is definitely a shelf ready figure. But if we dig a little further, we can try to find out exactly where these figures are coming from. So the Facebook page, Masters of the Universe Origins Fan, more and more figures are starting to show up in the wild. We can see here this post was showing off this shipping box, and the original poster actually has turned off comments for the post. I guess they were being inundated with messages and requests about where they got them. But yeah, this is what happens when people are looking so hard for these figures. Looking deeper, we found another post by Elvin Estella, and yeah, this is just another wonderful look into his figure that he found in the wild. But thanks to a little bit of digging, he actually did finally get questioned by by certain members in the group, and finally let slip he purchased it from a location called Frankensons in the City of Industry. Now, that sounds odd. Obviously, Frankensons in the City of Industry, you're kind of thinking, wow, that's kind of a pseudo name for where he hid it. But you know what? I went ahead and Googled it, and yeah, to my shock and surprise, it actually shows up. Frankensons Collectible Show. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And if you look closer, it actually is in the City of Industry in California. Postal code and everything. This is crazy. What is this? So I read a little bit about this. This is a year-round Comic-Con. At least that's what they call themselves. They call themselves, a collectible show all year round. And if we take a look at some of the photos, this is a real thing, guys. This is a huge, absolute, massive warehouse that just houses, a whole bunch of vendors, almost Comic-Con style, exhibitor room style. So this is the front of the building. Frankensons Collectible Show. They have signage. They have, they painted the building. You can see Wonder Woman, a Wonder Woman statue just hanging out of the top there. This is nuts. This is absolutely crazy. And on the inside, it just gets even crazier. Check this out, everybody. Yes, this is a gigantic warehouse which basically houses all of these different vendors for nothing but collectibles. From comic books to electronics to, classic retro collectibles. This is just absolutely insane. That Toys R Us sign in the back there, that is not Toys R Us. That is just a recovered sign from one of the vendors who had decided to put it up in this location because why not, right? This is definitely a place for archival and rescue toys. So yeah, this is just absolutely crazy. Looking at some of the vendors here, check out the wall of Pops. You guys know how I feel about Pops, but people love Pops, and look at the size of this. Imagine being able to go to a Comic-Con in your local town year-round to find all these crazy, collectibles from T-shirts to comic books to, action figures, statues, everything under the sun you can think of. And of course, video games. We can see Hyperkin here. Yeah, this is just nuts. Again, a year-round toy show. If we're to believe what Elvin Estella says, and this is actually where it was purchased, I'm gonna come out and say it right away, guys. Don't bother running over to Frankensons if you live in the California area. More than likely, whichever vendor it was, because Elvin did not tell us which vendor it was. So yeah, don't bother going over there. Don't bother running over there trying to find out which vendor it is. More than likely, as soon as the news hit, as soon as he let out that Frankensons was where he found it, I'm pretty sure a ton of collectors just ran over there and questioned every single vendor in the place to find out if this was actually being sold by them. So more than likely, that vendor has already sold out of their in stock items. But that still doesn't answer the question as to where that vendor actually picked up this particular figures. But if we dig a little bit more, and if we do a little bit more sleuthing, more rumors, and I can only call them rumors because they're not substantiated at all. They showcase these photos, and this is just getting the plot thickens, guys. Holy crap! Do my eyes deceive me? Are you guys seeing this the way I'm seeing this? Multiple pieces of Wun-Dar action figures on a store peg. You look at this, you see Wun-Dar there, you see the backing card with Axel Jimenez's work, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5, 6, maybe even 7 Wun-Dar figures in the wild. What is going on? So this post is from AFCTT and Marvel Matters. This photo was sent to me by a viewer of the channel, which reads, I guess Wun-Dar is a regular figure overseas. And the pic apparently was from King Deadpool 2008. Again, being right on top of the situation, sharing his sleuthing skills. So yeah, was this actually where King Deadpool 2008 actually picked up this figure? It's hard to tell because these figures are actually on the pegs. There is no mailer box, and they have been punched. So where is this apparently? Apparently, this image originates supposedly from Malaysia. And this is interesting. This is actually really, really interesting. We know from the past that Malaysian vendors have been able to get certain action figures from certain toy franchises very early. If we think back then, a company called Justin Hunts in Malaysia. They were showcasing multiple figures that they had actually got their hands on relatively early, including these wonderful figures from the SDCC exclusive, or in which actually ended up turning into the PulseCon exclusive figures. Apparently, on September 30th, 2020, he had already a full stock of all these crazy figures, and people were just going crazy as to how he was able to get it. And then, during that time, he posted something absolutely insane, and people just lost their minds. Well before the convention was even announced, he posted these crazy pictures of the G.I. Joe Classified Master in Disguise Zartan. Holy crap, guys! This was like weeks before this figure was even announced as an exclusive, and people were literally contemplating whether or not this was a knockoff or this was a fan project. And yeah, he had all of these boxes lined up. And at the time, people were just trying to figure out whether or not this was true, what was going on, and, how this was even possible. But I think we can infer from this that there's a direct connection somewhere between the manufacturers in China and Malaysia getting early products, and, the retailers over there not having the same restrictions and embargoes that we have here in the U.S. All of these photos are circumstantial. They're superfluous ideas. We don't really know if any of these are actually real. But if we look back at history, this is actually an indication that something is going on, and it really does give me pause and kind of makes me wonder what's going on. Who's leaking out these figures early, and releasing to the public, and now trickling all the way in to the United States, and showing up at places like Frankenstein. According to multiple sources, one of the random vendors in there was actually able to sell these figures to fans here in North America. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane to think about. And honestly, guys, something has to be done about this. It's one of those things where these figures are just hard enough to pick up as they are. We just have to look at what happened with Mattel Creations, and how they handle their releases for things like Wun-Dar. It really was one of those crazy things where people just did not have enough advance notice to figure out that this was even on sale in multiple scenarios. Obviously, some people got the emails earlier, some people got them late. Sites like Toy Habits was able to get people's attention and give people a heads up about it. But myself, I wasn't subscribed to any of those channels. I didn't get the news early enough from Toy Habits, and a lot of us missed out. And now we're finding out that Wun-Dar, a very sought-after exclusive, is already hitting North American shores, through different channels. And what does this mean, right? Is there a surplus out there? Are multiple, figures and an abundance of figures out there for people to purchase? Or are they making it a false scarcity kind of idea with Mattel? It's hard to say. It really is difficult to make that decision. I'd like to think that these are contraband in some fashion. They must be. I'm pretty sure that without any actual announcements from Mattel, this would never have happened. This is just something that, was a fluke, and these people who actually picked these up, Playtime, King Deadpool 2008 LE, congratulations to you guys for actually picking these up and finding them in the wild. But I think for the rest of us, we really just have to resign ourselves to trying to pick this up, through the regular channels. And but my biggest concern, of course, is how are these things being leaked? How are they getting to overseas retailers well ahead of time? And it's my concern, and it should be also the manufacturer's concern, that this is actually happening, and they really have to do something sooner rather than later to make this thing stop, so that everyone gets a chance to pick these up through the proper channels. Yeah, guys, this is quite the perplexing situation. So many people have been reporting that it's been showing up at different locations, whether it be toy shows or certain types of retailers, and of course, they all seem to be getting their hands on these products. So the question continues: are these real products from Mattel, or have they come off some sort of KO manufacturer somewhere in Asia? And what about those photos that we've seen from Malaysia? Again, which have been just hanging on the pegs, in some retail store. The question continues, but this really does raise a disturbing, concept what's going on with the the security over at Mattel? Are they actually protecting their brand the way they're supposed to be doing, or could this all be an elaborate plot to kind of drum up some interest in the Master of the Universe brand again and try to make it relevant for 2022? Guys, what are your thoughts? Please leave those comments in the comment section below. Are you going to try and get Wun-Dar when he's finally announced for the pre-orders for MattelCreations.com? Are you going to try and hunt him in the wild and see if you get lucky? Several different retailers in California seem to be having him somewhere. Or are you pretty much fed up with the Master of the Universe Origins and Masterverse line and, the toy prices that are just keep skyrocketing up and up and up have pretty much made you step back from the hobby and, you're reconsidering what you're going to be doing with your next toy collection? Guys, please leave those comments in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. Geek proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. RyRackCan33, Old IT Guy, Princess Cagali, John Joker, Michael Traverso, Christopher Herndon, Snell World, Thomas Meyer, Budrick Porter, and Joseph Michaels. Thank you for all your support, everybody. It really means a lot to me and really does help the channel to keep going.